Hey, yo. Man, what's going on, everybody? This is Derek here, tapping in. Appreciate everybody who's hopping in. When you hop in, if you hop in, if not, I hope that you watch this after the live is done here. Nothing too crazy today. I've been I don't know if I mentioned in the last one, just really taking a step back and reinvested a bunch of the money that I got from the last deal here into new marketing efforts, being SMS texting, and I switched my dialer from Mojo Dialer over to Call Tools. Um, so that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm just reorganizing everything. Just been a lot of kind of not procedural, but like what's the word I'm looking for? Like ancillary or uh, whatever. It's been very kind of paperwork type stuff here. My old partner, I'm going through and figuring out all the accounts and softwares that he registered in his email because I'm going through and canceling that stuff as well. So I just want to make sure that everything's transferred over to my email. Uh, and then as well as all of my leads, because I was using Mojo Dialer as a CRM as well, just kind of setting my own follow-ups within the dialer. Um, so I'm transferring all of the follow-ups that I had. I didn't see any other better way to do it. I'm sure there is. I'm sure I could have exported it as like a CSV file and imported it with custom fields and stuff within my new dialer, but it wasn't that many. There's like 50 people that I have on a follow-up in Mojo Dialer. So I'm just taking those and I'm doing like 10 a day and just creating new contacts within Call Tools. And then I'll be doing the same thing in Call Tools as I did in Mojo Dialer and just kind of using that as a CRM. Um, and again, just setting my own follow up calls, tasks within the dialing system or within it essentially is a CRM. Just how you really want to utilize it. It's not like a very robust CRM. Obviously, there's no like follow up automation to it, but for now, that's all I need is just to be able to track I'm calling and when I need to call them. So did that. I'm about 10, 15 contacts in. But then what I wanted to do today was kind of talk through what I'm doing in regards to my SMS campaign, my texting. So was able to kind of get good pricing on this through my coaching program. I know that he doesn't publicly share the software, so I won't as well. But I found that a lot of them are similar though. You just got to find what works best for you. But what I like in this one is that there's a lot of automation. I can essentially add the person to the campaign, and it will text them whenever I set it to text them. As long as they don't reply, and once they reply, they stop getting automated texts, stuff like that. But I'm gonna try to run my first campaign here while I'm on. I already have everything set up on the back end. So as I know you guys can't see what I'm looking at on my computer, and I'm sorry for that, but uh, uh, that's why I want to just be able to narrate everything as in as much. How are they gonna get contacted? What am I gonna say to them through text? And if they don't reply, how quickly am I following up with them and sending them a follow-up text? And what am I saying at that point? So I built out my just general 30-day campaign where they're gonna get. Sorry if I was cutting out. It looked like my connection was unstable, but let me close out some of these other tabs that I have open real quick, just in case that has something to do with it. All right, that should be good. So, day one, they're gonna get a text. I say, "Hi, first name," and this is like custom fields, so it's gonna pull the custom fields, the merged fields from my list. So, "Hi, first name. Have you given any thought to parting ways with address?" Uh, and it's just the street number and the street name. It's not like the city, state, zip. It's just that first part. Can we talk about it? And it may sound funny on its face, But that's because the mobile carriers are really cracking down on getting rid of this spam, because it is spam, right? If you have a cell phone, you get calls, texts, and it's a lot lately. Since I would imagine since just the it's not really, but I mean, yeah, a lot of people are in financial crisis, right? So it unfortunately makes them more vulnerable and susceptible to scammers. So it seems like it's a lot more prevalent nowadays, which is why the mobile carriers like AT&T, Verizon, they're doing everything in their power to be able to uh, use AI to determine whether or not a text is spam. So, what's the best way that they can do that is by identifying certain keywords that spammers use. So, for somebody who's texting somebody unsolicited to try to offer them a to buy their property, they're gonna look out for words like cash offer, uh, even the words like house and property. I don't know if that's specifically on that negative keyword list. Sorry, I got a ambulance going by. Hopefully, it's not too loud, but just stuff like that. Out of the blue, I know that's on the list. Um, sell, sell your house, sell your, that type of stuff. So you got to get a little creative with how you're approaching them. So that's why I say, "Hi, first name. Have you given any thought to parting ways with address? Can we talk about it?" Um, and if you're watching this, I don't really imagine a lot of people are watching this who actually do send out a mass amount of text per day. But if you are, I mean, I would probably be preaching to the choir because you know better. But just in case, a little disclaimer: if you are going to kind of use these scripts for yourself, make sure that you tweak them and tailor them, because that goes into that whole topic of what I was just talking about. Not only are the carriers identifying keywords, but they're identifying scripts. Like, oh, okay, this person, these group of people have figured out how to work around those negative keywords by saying this. So let's just take this and put that on the negative keyword list as well. So now in the near future, I'd imagine that quote unquote parting ways is probably going to be added to that negative keyword list. So if you're watching this and you send out a good amount of text per day, just make sure that you're kind of tweaking the script to make it your own, because the mobile carriers are picking up on that as well. 2 minutes after that first text is sent, I drop them a ringless voicemail. Let me see if I can play that out loud right now. Hey, I just texted you about a property I believe you own. My partner and myself, we're local home buyers. We got some cash on hand, and we're looking to pick up one, maybe two more properties in that area there. I just wanted to give you a shout to see if you'd ever consider selling. So that comes in right after the first text. Again, 2.5 minutes later. So if they don't get to their phone right away, or they don't, if or they see the text and they don't choose to reply to it, they get a ringless voicemail. And how ringless voicemails work, for those who don't already know, is this is something that I actually learned the other day. I always knew that it was just a voicemail that got dropped without actually calling the person, but I didn't realize how it happened. So what happens is it calls the person, and right afterwards, I'm talking split second after the outgoing call is made to the person, a second call is made, which then pushes them straight to voicemail because the line is busy. And then that first line hangs up, and then they drop the voicemail. So you might have even seen it. And so when I learned that, I was like, oh yeah, I have seen that. Like, I've had my phone in my hand, and for half a second it pops up as if somebody's calling me, but then it drops the call. And I've always thought like that's weird. And then I realized then it's always followed up with a voicemail. So that's what's happening. It's a ringless voicemail. It's just a way for me to drop them a voicemail into their voicemail machine or messages without actually calling them. And what I've, I guess, learned, and what I'm hoping to learn through experience, is that it just increases your contact rate significantly, because not only are they choosing to ignore a text, but now they are choosing to ignore that voicemail. Um, which is again just it's a little bit more personal. People are more inclined to answer when you actually leave them a voicemail, and so I'm hoping that that voicemail is good. You got to make it general, right? Because I can't put their first name in the voicemail, because that's going to be sent out to everybody. But they don't reply to that. The next day, 25 hours later, I did it 25 hours because I just didn't want it to like come in on the same exact time every day. Not like it would matter, I don't think. But I said, hey, first name, I reached out yesterday about address. Are you free to talk today? An hour later, if they don't reply to that, they get this voicemail.
Hey, how's it going? I hadn't heard back, so I just wanted to round back, double check to see if you were interested in receiving a cash offer on your property there. If not, completely understand. Just let me know one way or another so I can stop bugging you here.
So right there, I kind of give them an out, right? I give them an out to contact me and say, I'm not interested. And that's the first time I've really given them that out, uh, is through that voicemail. And if they don't get that, then they get 23 hours later, the next day, day three. Hey there, just following up on my text from yesterday. Did you have a number in mind that you'd be hoping to get for that street address? And right there, what that is asking them for a price. Maybe they are sick and tired of people calling, that's the reason they're not replying. And now I give them an opportunity to just say, like, yeah, $1 million, or maybe they think that they're throwing out an absurd number, but it's something that I can work with, right? It's just, again, giving them that opportunity to throw a number out there. Um, 1 minute later, just in case I didn't mention this in another text, any conditions okay with us? We can pay all the closing costs, won't have to pay any fees. They don't respond to that. They get a text 7 days later, 1 week. So this is day 10. It's been a bit since I've checked in about this address. Wanted to know, I wanted you to know that I do have a few options available. Let's see what makes the most sense for you. 1 minute later, kind of the same thing, where I sent a second text just right afterwards. Oh, also wanted to reiterate that I do buy an as is condition, no repairs, no fees, anything like that. Let me know what you're thinking or if you have any questions. 15 days later, 2 weeks after that, day 25. Hope you're doing well. We haven't connected, but just wanted to let you know that the houses in city, which is their city, are selling fast right now. Let's connect. And then 5 days later, which is day 30, hey, contact address was at the top of my list, but it seems like right now might not be the time for you. Please save my number if anything ever changes. Again, just kind of like pulling back, right? Which is, it's going to be the last time I text them. But then if they don't reply to any of those, then I can assume that maybe their number isn't valid. So what will happen in the system, and this is why this software is going to be so powerful for me, is that it's going to, once they get to the end of the campaign and they haven't replied, then they're going to replace the number with the second number and then rerun them through a second campaign, which is an exact duplicate of that first one. And then if they get through that one, it's going to happen for the third number, and that's going to be the final time. And then at that point, it'll be 3 months in where I've tried this person all three times. And then at that point, I'm still kind of determining how I'm going to do it. But I think at that point, I'm going to then pass them along to my cold call campaign. Um, because I get really good pricing through text. I'm gonna be able to send out like 1,000 messages for $7 or something like that. I'm getting a call right now, impromptu. Let's see if it's on telemarketer. See what they say. It doesn't even answer. Uh, so I think that's kind of my process. I learned that from Max Maxwell in one of his YouTube videos. It's like that's how he does it, is just on a conveyor belt where he starts with the lowest cost of marketing, which is SMS for me right now. I think it's probably SMS for everybody. And the idea is that if I can send out 1,000 texts for less than $10 and get somebody to raise their hand and say, "Yeah, I'm interested," it's just the cost per lead is going to go down so much. Um, but then if I don't, right? But it's not to say that I should only be doing texting, because people just like communicating different ways. Texting, on the phone. You should, always be trying to push them to get on the phone with you if you're using SMS campaigns. But sometimes people just don't like talking on the phone, and I get that. It's like I've had some sellers, which is a little frustrating because then they won't text you. They're gonna say like, "Oh, I just prefer texting." But I have heard stories of other wholesalers who run into those type of sellers that are like, "You know what? I just really prefer texting. I'm always at work. It's really hard to get a moment to step away from work and have that real detailed conversation. Please just send me all the questions that you need." And again, I've heard stories of people doing that and getting all of their questions answered, then pre-qualifying the seller through text alone, and then closing the deal through text alone, right? Like I've in my old job, they used to get on me about getting on the phone with people to get your questions answered, but some people just like the email, like just send me through all the questions that you need through email, you know. They didn't like it in my old job because there was a human element to it, and you kind of needed to be on the phone with them to determine if they were lying to you about the answers that they were giving. But sometimes it was just kind of procedural, and people just preferred to email. I don't want to talk to you on the phone. Just email me, which I understand. So I think that's kind of what I'm going to be doing moving forward is trying to backlog enough properties and get enough property skip trace where I'm not waiting 3 months to call somebody. Um, so yeah, that's I think what I'm gonna that's my goal, right? Is to have enough properties to pass through. One, maybe it is just a month, and some people may just need a follow up. You know what I mean? They reply not right now. Okay, well then I can put them on a follow up campaign. And this is also why this tool is so powerful. So not only do I have these campaigns just generally to start the conversation, but if something like that happens, then I can tag them in the system, which will then automatically put them into another campaign. So some follow up campaigns that I have are cold lead, which is not interested in selling, and then they get put on a, let's see how long this one is, like a year long campaign where they're contacted every 30 to 45 days, 60 days in between these texts, just to kind of round back, right, and be like, hey, I know you said you weren't interested then, but has anything changed? With some other ones, uh, warm lead, which is interested but not right now, hot lead, which is interested but no offer has been made, lead offer stage, which is an offer was made but not accepted, replied lead scheduled appointment, which for me is probably going to be after I get the contract signed, so that somebody can go out there and take pictures. But I have sent people out to take pictures and stuff like that before I got the contract signed, and I imagine that I'm going to be doing a lot more of that once I scale up, and I'm not so conservative in my um, not so conservative in what am I trying to say? Like in my spending. Right now, I tend to only send the woman out to take pictures because I have the contract. But what I'd like to do is start sending her out ahead of time because I know that will lead to um, higher conversions. I would like to build out a little bit more of a experienced team though, so I'm not just sending the woman who takes pictures out to get the contract signed. Rather, I'm sending out maybe a realtor or my JV partner, boots on the ground in my virtual market, um, and then scheduled appointment and rescheduled appointment. So those are all different campaigns that they're going to be put into depending on how I move them around. And then I even have a cash buyer campaign, so that when I get something under contract, I can put it on a drip campaign text to my buyers list. And I'm kind of excited about that too for the next one. So that's kind of everything. Again, it may seem simple, but it took a really long time to go in there and edit all those texts, set up all those drips, and then all of the triggers. So all the triggers, if you ever use Zapier, that's kind of like what I'm talking about, where it's like a bunch of if then statements. So like if lead gets tagged hot, then they get added to this campaign. They get this tag removed. They get this tag added. So there's like, I probably have like 40 or 50 triggers set up, uh, that is going to allow these people to just move through my pipeline, through these campaigns, numbers deleted, numbers replaced and updated with better numbers, stuff like that. So I know that there's a lot of room for error in this because of just how much is going on, and it's going to be a learning experience. But what I want to do now is um, try to send out my first campaign while I'm here. So I'm gonna do, oops, I'm gonna do that. Also trying to work some fantasy football trades at the same time, but here we go. So I'm gonna come into my. So what happens is all my marketing is set up. All of my campaigns are set up. My campaigns are set up on a timeline, so it's like only send out messages from this time to this time, Monday through Friday or whatever. That way, it's just kind of like a safeguard, where it's not sending out messages late at night or really early in the morning, or just when I'm not in front of my computer, because I want to be able to reply to these people right away if they reply back to me. So what happens is the marketing campaigns are set up, but then I have to go into my contacts, and then I choose how the contacts get added. So that first message gets sent out 30 seconds after the contact is added into the campaign. So then what I do is I drip, or what I'm going to do for the first time right now is drip my contacts into the campaign, meaning I'll add one contact every 20 to 30 seconds. So it appears as if it's a human actually texting these people. And that's like kind of the main goal. And that'll avoid, red flags to the carrier, the mobile carriers like AT&T or Verizon or whoever. Um, so that's what I'm going to do. I got to filter this because I added some. No, I don't want to make a smart list. See, this is, here we go. Tags. I got to filter it by tag. Tag is this one. I just want to make sure that I'm not sending cold, yeah, these cold or text to these leads that I've been talking to, and I just added to my system. So there we go. 924 here. I'm gonna start off with I'm not gonna want to send out more than 100 per day to begin with text because I really need to. I'm probably gonna do less than that right now too because I'm gonna need to figure out how to disposition. So when somebody does reply, how I should be properly tagging them, moving them through my pipeline, stuff like that. And I know, I mean, knock on wood, and if you're watching this, knock on wood is yourself and keep your fingers crossed. But I am anticipating a little bit that there are probably going to be some errors in all of my automation that's going on in the back end. So here we go. So what I'm going to do, excuse me. I'm going to start by putting 50 to a page here. I'm going to select 50 records, add to campaign workflow. Please note the actions will be performed over a period of time. You can track the progress on bulk action page. Okay, proceed. Campaign, I'm going to start them off. General 30-day campaign, phone number 1. It's giving me the option to add all at once, add all at scheduled time, add in drip mode. I don't even know why they give you the option to add all at once or all at a scheduled time, knowing that, I mean, I hopped on the onboarding with them. I've watched multiple demo videos and been part of Q&As with the creators of the software, and they always do drip mode. My point is, I don't even know why they give you the option because they know that drip mode is the best way to do it because it kind of goes under the radar from the mobile carriers. So enter a description for the action to be shown in tracking reports. Add in drip mode, add to general campaign. One. I have no idea what I'm doing right now, so I'm really just freestyling. Starts on today at, I'm going to make it 7 minutes from now at 1. It's 12:54 right now, so 6 minutes from now. 1 p.m. Let me close my door real quick. Right, and then this is where you kind of have to do, and I only know this because I've been a part of a bunch of Q&As and onboarding videos, but this is where you kind of have to do a little bit of math. So starts on in 6 minutes. I'm going to change that because I know that I'm going to take a second to do some math. I'm going to put it in 11 minutes from now. Batch quantity. Okay, this is where you got to do the math. So I'm going to do 1 batch quantity, 1 repeat after. I'm going to say if I want to send out 50, I'm just going to do 50 in the next or I'll do, I'm going to exit out. I'm going to do 60. don't think I'll be able to do that. Yeah, I can. 50 selected, 50, and then I'm going to go to this next page and select 10 more. 58, 59, 60, and I'm just gonna do 2 every minute, so 1 every 30 seconds. So you selected 60 records. Let me go do that again. Add the campaign. Okay, proceed. They're gonna be in the first phone campaign. Add in drip mode. Add to general campaign. Phone 1. Start on today at 1:05 p.m. Batch quantity 1. Repeat after 30 seconds. So one's going to get added to that campaign every 30 seconds. And then 30 seconds later, they're going to get that first text. Send on. I'm just going to do it today. You can do this so that it's just doing this automatically, but I want to have some type of manual control over it. So I want to go in there and add the people to the campaign when I'm ready to sit in front of the computer and reply to people. Because again, if I'm not there to reply, then it's just a waste. So this is going to be the area where I'm really having my manual control over when these people get added. Now, I'm not going to, once they get added, I'm not going to be able to control when they get that drip, when they get that follow up text, um, because it's just going to be happening automatically. So that's where that campaign level time frame matters. So I have it set to 12 to 7 um, Central Time. So it's going to be, or I might have even done 2 to 7, which is 12 to 5 my time. But I just want to give myself enough time in my mornings to do my morning routine, get in front of my computer, drive for dollars a little bit. And around this time when I went live 30 minutes ago, 12:30 is when I really start generating leads, um, or when I really want to start generating leads. So start from process between hours. So this is kind of unnecessary, but I'll do it anyways. Again, this is where that math kind of comes into play. So I'll say process hours between 1 p.m. to say 2:30. It doesn't make the most sense because it should, if this works the way that I want it to, it should end. Oh, I can do it at 2. I forgot that I was doing it every 30 seconds. So it should end, if done correctly, at 1:35, but just in case, I'll cut it off at 2 p.m. Um, so yeah, I think that works. Let me just kind of review general 30-day campaign, add in drip mode, add a general campaign phone 1, start in 7 minutes. I'm just going to go ahead and change that to 1 o'clock on the dot in 2 minutes because I'm ready. Batch quantity 1, repeat after 30 seconds on Tuesday between 1 and 2. Boom. Add a campaign, workflow, operation not scheduled, schedule after. Oh, okay, this is in. That was my mistake. That it's in Central Time in the system, and that's funny because I operation not scheduled. There should be at least 60 seconds delay. Why? So I'll do 2 every second, 60 seconds. I think that's silly. 2 repeat after 60 seconds. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. When I was on the your action has been scheduled, click here to check the progress. Okay. I think I checked my progress in bulk actions. Yep, there it is. Bulk campaign queued up. All right. And now I'm going to come over, I believe, into conversations to see when they start going out. There it is. 1 o'clock just hit. They should start dripping in now. Wow. I'm excited. Wish me luck. If you're watching this still, or maybe skipped through to this part of the video, drop a like to give me good luck. And if you really think that you bring the good vibes and good juju, then subscribe and maybe I'll get a lead. That's how I'm feeling right now. Bulk actions. Let me just double check. Queued up. View details. I just want to review. And next processing on October 26th. That's not what I wanted. That's definitely not what I said. Let's see. Maybe I misclicked. It's just not. Oh, it just put it out. It put it out to the following Tuesday because it's like right now, right? Start on, but it says start on today. Oh, I'm tripping because, all right. See, this is what the learning curve that I'm talking about. 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. I had this in my time as well and not their time. Um, so now I'm going to change this to 3:05, or let's put it to 3:03. 3:03. Start on 3:03 today. Put 2 in every 60 seconds, which is going to get through the 60 in 30 minutes. Start from 3 to 4. Save changes. Let's see if it'll. All right, boom. Queued. View details. Next processing in 1 minute. Perfect. Yep. Delay between batches 60 seconds. So I'm going to send a message out every minute to 2 people. Now I'm excited and nervous a little bit. Can't lie. Shoot. It's been a long time coming. I'm telling you, this took a very long time to get all set up. So once I get this rolling, woo, ooh wee, phone call over. I'm telling you. All right, here we go. 103. Processing. Let's go. All right. Show stats. 60 total. Boom. You can come here and see everything. How many went out successfully or how many errors there are. Again, I'm sorry that you guys can't see this yourself. I just if you haven't watched any of my other videos, it's because I'm literally on my MacBook laptop and it doesn't have enough processing power to handle the streaming software. I tried and it's just really, really, really bad lag. Um, Completely ruins the video, audio, everything. So that'll also be one of the first few items that I reinvest into. Once I get a few more deals under my belt. I just don't really know where to be looking to be sure that they're getting sent out. Marketing campaigns. Okay, I can see it in here. Yeah, there we go. 2 total, 2 active. Let's go back into the bulk actions. Let's see. Processing 10%. Show stats. 6 have been sent successfully out of the 60 that I plan to send. Let me pop over into conversations. All, boom, and I can see they're getting sent out. Let's go. Let's go. So something that I've just noticed right off the bat that I'm going to take note of is um, all of all of their names are in all caps, so it's very clear that I'm sending out templated messages, if that makes sense. Uh, because their first name that's being pulled is in all caps. So when I upload list, be sure all contact fields are properly capitalized. Boom, got my first stop. So what that does, it again, since it's all automated, it picked up on the fact that she said stop. It added the tag DNC, which is do not contact. It moved her into the DNC column in my pipeline, and then it triggered on to opt her out of marketing campaigns. So I literally don't have to do anything, literally nothing. Uh, what it should have done was it should have marked it as red, but it didn't. So I'm gonna uh, stop, quote unquote, um, mark as red. Which, if once that is in place, what it'll do is just it'll just pull all of those people with those negative keywords, so that I don't even have to click through all of them and like mark them as red. I don't even want to see them. Right? If they're gonna tell me stop, it's very clear that they don't want to be texted. They don't want to be talked to about their property. So I don't even need to go through and read through all of that garbage. Um, it should just be marking it as red by itself. But I guess what I can do right here is click mark as red. Boom. Go back to all. Um, Unsuccessful. Error code. This is where I can see the error code. It's 30,006. And this is Twilio error code 30,006 to see what's going on. If the message you send is not delivered to the end device and returns a 30,006 error code, this means that a delivery of your message failed due to the destination being a landline. There it is. So that's a landline. Um, what I can do now is add tag replaced. I'm freestyling right now. Add tag replace number 2. What that then does is pulls them out of this campaign, replaces it with that second phone number, and then adds them into the next campaign, and it'll just try it again when I go to run that, or it should do it automatically. To be honest, I think that's the only tag that I need. Oh, and then it did it. It just literally just sent them that second text right now because for that second, that's fire. Because that second campaign is already set up, and we are right now fall within the windows of um of when that campaign is happening. So I literally said, "Hi Samuel, have you any thoughts of parting ways with this address? Can we talk about it?" And it says unsuccessful. It gives me the error code, letting me know that it was a landline. I added the tag, which automatically replaces the phone number with the second phone number, automatically sends them into that second campaign, which is just, again, just a duplicate of the first campaign. And then right away, it sent them the same text to the second number. Doesn't look like anybody's really responding, but this is cool. This is really good. Um, it's dropping the voicemails too, which I can see. I'm just clicking through them to really just look at it. It's cool to see. Nobody's replying yet. Uh, but again, I can see that it is happening the way I want it to, except for this guy. Um, oh no, this guy's good. I was going from the bottom up, and they get added to the top when they drop the voicemail or whenever the next message is sent. It just adds it, the most recent up top. So I was on the bottom looking at this guy who I sent the message to, and then like 5 or 6 people up, I saw his name again, and I was like, oh, I don't want to be texting the same guy or texting even different numbers, right? Because sometimes it's like their spouse's number that gets added, and then you're I run into it when I was cold calling. Like you're cold calling them, and then they say no, or they tell you it's the wrong number, and then you call their spouse or the significant other who's standing right next to them moments later. Uh, Here we go, unsuccessful. I wish that it was able to pick up on this. Let me make a note of that as well. Um, any way to automatically tag when error code is 30,006 landline to replace with second number and add to second campaign. But for now, I'll just do the same thing that I did to the other one, add the tag manually. So the only trigger that I have for that one is if they reply wrong number and there is a second number available to replace it with. That's the only automatic. That's the only time it'll happen automatically. But now that I see I need to be replacing them automatically if it's being sent to a landline. Hi D. Call this person D because I don't have their full first name. All right, well they're going out. That's for damn sure. I got one stop. I wonder if there's a way because I don't know if all of these are going out successfully. It's not like giving me a. Maybe there's a way where I can filter it. Filters. All chat. What? All chats. Oh, that's not. Oh, and I also have like multiple phone numbers, so it's cycling through them. That makes sense. I wonder. I was gonna say. I wonder if they can drop a voicemail to a landline, but I don't think they can. This is really promising, though. I have some type of update up here. New message. Oh, okay. So it does kind of update me up on top when somebody replies. I just would like to know again if there's any way that it is going to tell me without me going into every single conversation individually that I got an error. I'm sure there is a way. So let me go back into contacts. I'm gonna go back to my bulk actions to see how many have been sent, see if there's any failure rates, anything like that. 40% have been sent, 24 successful, 0 error out of 60. Wow. I'm hoping that I can get some conversations going with this because I'm pretty excited about the potential here. Um, Again, I'm gonna start slow because I don't know what's gonna happen once people start replying, and then I know that I'm gonna get overwhelmed. So I just want to make sure that not I'm not letting opportunities slip through the cracks just because I sent too many texts out. So I'm gonna start with 100 until I really 100 a day until I really again I started with 60 today. I'm gonna cap it at that until I really start to get a hold of like all these things that I'm taking notes of. Um, and I know this is gonna be a constant, you know, ever evolving thing on things that I'm taking notes on, things that I'm trying to implement, stuff like that. So I know there's no getting past that, but I still just want to kind of slow play it. There's no need for me to hop in head first on all this. I don't plan on quitting the business anytime soon. I know that speed matters though, so don't get me wrong. You know, I am trying my best to do everything. Oh, here we go. This guy's calling me back. Let me get his property. Oh, that always happens with my fucking Google Voice. Pull this up. See, that's like something else. I don't. It doesn't say his property anywhere. This guy's calling me too. Yo, let's go. Hello.
Yeah, hi, it's Alonzo. Returning your phone call.
Hey, Alonso, how's it going?
Yeah, is this the one for the church with the retention fund?
No, no, I'm sorry. My name is Derek. I was reaching out in regards to a property that I believe you own over on Davenway Drive.
So what now?
I was reaching out about a property that I believe you own over on Davenway Drive.
I might have that. I might have. Yeah, I've got quite a few, but it's not for sale.
Okay, okay, completely understand. I appreciate you giving me the call back though. Bye now. I think. See, it is becoming already a little overwhelming. Um, I can't lie. What I wanted to do was take this, see if I can tell how many other properties he owns in prop stream real quick. Oh my god. He says I could own that. I own quite a few. He owns what says two properties. Lives in California. Uh, it could be wrong though, you know, it's prop stream stuff. So what I want to do is I'm going to come to my pipeline and then I'm just going to drag and drop replied Alonzo to um, cold. I just want to make sure that he's not going to get a text right away if I add him to the cold campaign. Um, I'm pretty sure they don't get that first text until 7 days later. I just want to, yeah. So I just wanted to be sure of that. So I'm just going to drag Alonzo, drop him into cold, which is not interested. Go back into my conversations. Unread Devando, which is the first guy that called me about this property here. Pull that up on Zillow, see what we're working with. And again, this is going to be something that I'm not going to do for every property once I get a hold of what the hell I'm doing. I need to be able to see, though. I need to be able to pull up their information. I can't even see their address. There we go. Click there. See under general info. This guy. It's estimate 207. Let's call him back, learn a little bit more. This is probably why I need another phone number, because now I'm just calling him off of my number, which isn't good, I don't think. You know what I mean? Because if I call him, that's just going to open my number up to be considered spam. I almost don't want to call him back for that reason. Let's see if I can call him from right here using the caller ID. Oh, I can't.
Sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. I'm sorry, but the
Okay, so I don't know now. Let me see what's going to happen with this person, because I don't know if they technically count that as a reply. Let's see. Because he called me, didn't answer. I called him, didn't answer. Marked as replied. He's just in replied. So I don't know. I'll deal with that in a second. This guy who I did call and said that he's not interested, I moved him to not interested. Cold. Perfect. I'm going to mark that as red. No, thank you. See, he called me and I didn't answer, and then he replied, "No, thank you." That's, I think, what the majority of the stuff is going to be, is them calling you to say no, thank you, because again, it's as if I called them. Replied. I'm gonna go ahead and put the tag cold. Remove the tag replied, and now they are automatically added to that cold lead flow. But I wish that the pipeline update pipeline status once manual tag added. Example, tag added, cold, pipeline stage moved. Who was that? $240K is the price. Let's see. His estimate is 183. I can tell that there are pictures up on Zillow. Let's see. Listing removed back in 2017. He listed it for rent. 240K is the price. I don't even know how to respond to that. See, and that's something else that I'm going to be ever evolving as well, is um, just in knowing, how to, because I don't want to waste that opportunity, say, and I can also kind of form templates for quick replies, which I think I have some. So for this guy, I would want to say something like, let's see how I get there. Use a template. You don't have any templates yet. I would want to say 240K is the price. I would want to say something like, I don't know, help me out. What would I want to say? Pretty much like, okay, that's going to be a little bit out of our 240K is the price. Okay. Should I ask how he came with? No, it's not even. He's being forward about it. Okay. As an investor, shoot, I don't know. I just want to say that that's too high without being insulting. Like, okay, that's probably a bit out of our price range. But if you did have any interest in selling on, interest in listing it on market, I could connect you with a realtor. Okay, that's probably a bit out of our price range, but if you did have any interest in listing it on market, I could, I can connect you with a realtor. And then I'm going to send that, and I'm going to say, if you have any other properties you might be looking to sell, we do buy in as is condition. If you or anybody he says thank you. If you or anybody may have any other properties, no, I'm just gonna say, if you have any other properties you might be looking to sell, we do buy in as is condition, and we can pay cash and buy in as is condition. I'm not even gonna waste the time on this guy. He's just not interested. 240K is the price. So what I can do is, let me see what kind of pipeline stages I have. Replied, attention, cold, warm, hot, offers, appointment, under contract, assigned, closed, lost, wrong number. See, like for this guy, this is one where I'm gonna say, like, do I even want to bother putting him in the cold campaign where he's gonna get all these other texts that's gonna cost me money, or is it just? I mean, he's throwing a price out there. Granted, it's really unreasonable, but maybe one day he will be ready to sell at a reasonable price. You know what I mean? That's something that I'm kind of battling right now, is what to do with him. Do I send him on a cold campaign? Let me pull up the cold campaign and see what it says in the beginning. So he says 240,000, and I say, okay, that's probably a bit out of our price range, but if you're looking to list it on market, I can connect you with a realtor. He says, thank you. A week later, Hey, thanks for talking with me about that price. Feel free to reach out if anything ever changes. Um, reply stop to no longer receive these messages. Wanted to show you had a number to call in case anything changes. Hi, blank. I just followed to see if you had any questions about the process. Typically, I might as well. Fuck it. Excuse my French. Um, just trying to figure out the best way to do this too. Okay, I can move to cold. And if I do that like that, then it's going to not do what I want it to. So cold. Um, and then I want to take him out of replied, right? Because now I want him to reply to that second. I don't know. I'm learning as I go, people. So now he's in the replied cold lead flow campaign. That's not interested in selling. See, whatever. I'll figure it out as I go. He's in the cold pipeline stage. New campaign, not interested. Maybe I'll set up a new campaign. For asking price over retail or retail. It's a thought. But for now, he's tagged accordingly. I'm gonna go ahead and save that. Move on to the next one. Thank you. We'll mark that as red. Nope. Hi Arnold, have you given any thought to parting ways with this? Can we talk about it? Nope. I'm gonna go ahead and add the tag hold, which adds them to a opportunities, select stage, cold. Oh, maybe it did it and it's not like updating as quickly as I'd like it to. Let me see. Arnold says nope. Replied tag removed once moved to new campaign question mark cold warm hot etc. Yeah, it does it already. So that's what I thought. That's what I wanted it to do, but I guess I'm just being impatient. He says nope. Boom, mark it as red. This guy called me, I called him. Now I wonder, see, yeah, I think, like, I don't want them to not get the next text because I missed their phone call. In fact, I want them to get my second text. Does that make sense? I texted him, I dropped a voicemail, and then he called me. I missed it. I called him, he missed it. And now his kind of property card or this lead is just sitting in limbo now. They're not on any type of drip campaign. Since when he called me, they counted it as a reply. So what I'm gonna do is get rid of the replied tag I'm gonna see if what happens if I add him back into the campaign. It won't let me. So I guess I'll keep him as replied. Maybe I set up a new campaign for that. Where I say called back, which counts as a reply. Called back, which counts as a reply. But want them to continue being marketed to. So like they call me and I don't answer, or I call them back, they don't answer. I don't want them to just sit in limbo. I want them to probably be added to another campaign. So I can say like I'll make the campaign like missed call. And then that first text is like, hey, sorry I missed your call. And then that just starts the next campaign where it's like pretty much the same thing as this initial campaign. It just kind of something's done with it. So for now, I'm just gonna kind of leave that pending until I get that set up. 300K, there is a sign in the yard. Let's see let's see if he's selling it on the open market. I'm gonna see if it's listed on Zillow, which it is for sale, and it's listed at 275, which is odd that he told me 300. His estimate's 271, and this place is brand spanking new. I'm gonna say, okay, my mistake. I see it listed on the MLS now. Was this your project? I'm just gonna assume. Great looking place. Are you looking to pick any more projects up in the area? Try to see if I can get a cash buyer out of this. Amazing job on this one. Are you looking to pick any more projects up in the area? Pick up any more projects in the area? This guy says no, thank you. I added them to cold lead flow, cold, boom, boom, boom. Mark is red. This guy says end. Let's see if it automatically picked that up. It didn't. I don't know if end is actually one of the words that I have, the keywords that should be picked up. I have like stop, quit. I have like 5 or 6 words. I don't know if end is one of them though. I want to see how the other person got tagged so that I can keep it similar across the board. Sonia said stop. She got tagged as DNC. DND got triggered, and then DNC in the pipeline. So and I'm gonna go ahead and put William as DNC tag. And then I'm going to give it a second. I'm actually going to refresh the screen and see if the other tag, which is replied, gets removed, because I had a note for myself. Oh, I know I did not. I wanted to just get marked as read, because that's supposed to happen. But all of these are coming through. And again, hopefully that makes sense. The power of that, of just not having to deal with all of these, like stop and quit calling me. Quit is another one word that I have. It just picks up on that. So, uh, end to DNC, replied, tag, removed on all of these. And then I want to, if DNC, the problem is that a lot of these triggers and automations are set up for just that, it to happen automatically. But I have to delineate, and I have to predetermine if it's going to be a manual change. So if I'm in there manually marking it as DNC, it has to be a completely different trigger than if somebody says stop and the system picks it up as a DNC. So uh, DNC moved, DNC tag moved to DNC pipeline stage. I got a crazy amount of notes just for these few texts that I sent out. DNC update. That one should be good. That one should be good. Mark is red. Again, want that to happen automatically. This is the guy that I don't know what to do with. He called, I didn't answer. I called, he didn't answer. I'm done here, I'm probably just gonna set up that quick campaign again. It's not gonna be anything. I'm just gonna duplicate the regular campaign that I have here and tweak it a little bit so that it's like I'm only ever gonna use it, I think, after this first text, because I think that's where I'm gonna get a majority of the calls is right away. Because then if I send like another text, well, maybe I just make it its own campaign completely, where I start to kind of I just make a new campaign where I start to allude to the fact that I missed their call and that I'd love to reconnect and kind of keep that the focus. Like, uh, man, like I'm upset that I missed your call 2 weeks ago and missed out on that opportunity to talk to you about address. Let me know when the best time to give you a call back is, and kind of again focus the intention of the campaign, not to just solicit a reply, but to try to schedule a time to hop on the phone, since I know that it was there in this campaign because I missed their phone call. So I think that's all of them. I think let me go back to marketing, or no, contacts, check bulk actions, which is down to 0, complete, sent out 60 successfully. 60 out of 60 messages that I sent, I accidentally texted one person who was listing on market, and I got another person that gave me a reply with a price that was well above retail. But that just goes to show you that people, again, those two people that gave me the prices probably wouldn't have even given me the time of day if I called them on the phone, or it would have been an unproductive conversation, a waste of time. Uh, it would have gotten me in my feelings, because I'm sure the guy who was asking, not the guy necessarily who had the property listed on market, but the other guy who was asking like 60,000 over this estimate, it would have been like yeah, give me 240,000, or don't bother. You know what I mean? Like something stupid like that. But just by honestly texting him and getting that and being like, you know what, that's too high, and him saying thank you, it just allows me to move on so much easier. I don't have to, again, get in my feelings about the conversation that I'm having. Not like I want to shy away from getting on the phone. Um, to kind of get into that, I got some new headphones. They're the Jabra. Where are they? The E6252. Yeah, the box here. The Evolve 265. So super nice. They weren't cheap. They're like $300. Um, Super nice quality to them. Thick padding here on the ears. It's active, or I'm sorry, passive noise canceling. So like if you've ever used Beats or any type of noise canceling headphones, I just always refer to Beats because those are the ones that I first heard noise cancellation. But it's like when you're wearing them and then you click them on, you can almost hear everything around you just shut out and the noise cancellation happening. But these are, they refer to it as passive, or yeah, passive noise cancellation, meaning that that type of technology isn't in the headphones, but that there's so much padding around your ears that it essentially does cancel out. I mean, I I can hardly hear myself talk when I have these on my ears. It makes a huge difference. Um, this is kind of cool. It has a little technology so that when I drop this down, it unmutes it, and then when I pull it up, it automatically mutes it. The button right here does the same thing on the side: mute, unmute, volume up, volume down. I can use it for music as well. Um, this is also just the mute button. If I want to just keep this down at all times, I can mute it right here. And then Bluetooth enabled. So I was using Bluetooth. I used it for the first time on Call Tools when I was dialing for the first time yesterday. There's a little bit of a delay. I'm kind of going through the same exact thing that I'm going through now, and just kind of taking note of everything that I'm noticing when I go through it. There's a little bit of a delay. It said that there were 8 opportunities for me to, uh, oh no, it was like 14 opportunities, but only 8 of them um, passed through because 6 of them were abandoned. And it says abandoned, but it was pretty much right when it connected to me, they hung up. So I don't know if that was, I don't know. To me, it's kind of a connection thing where it wasn't connecting quick enough. And by the time I got on the phone, they had already been waiting for me to say something. Um, so that's something that I'm looking into. I don't know if that's because I was using Bluetooth. It came with a USB. It actually, the dialer Call Tools tells me to use a USB corded headphone, which is why I got these in the first place. But once they came through and I realized that there is Bluetooth technology to it, I just used that yesterday. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna hop back over to, that's what's going on with me, my headphones, and my Call Tools, my new dialer. Hopping back over here into messages, my conversations, because it looks like somebody might have replied. Doesn't look like it. I think that's probably going to be it for the day. Um, Let me see if I can see some stats on how that how that worked, or just the campaign in general. 60 total. They got added to the campaign. 50 active. I don't know what that means. Maybe this page is just a little behind. Because then it says 10 completed. Let's see. Just refresh the screen here. 60 total, 50 active, 10 completed, 8 replied, with a 13.33% reply rate, which is low. I know that it's low. That should be closer to something like 30, but very small sample size. Once I start blasting out like these texts by the hundreds, I'd imagine that I get a little bit better understanding, better, clear picture of the real stats. Reporting, nothing there that I want to see, I don't think. I just want to maybe dashboard, see if it gives me any stats on the dashboard. It gives me call reporting. Um, and it's marking the cold campaign as leads, which I don't think is appropriate, especially when they said that they were not interested. So I'm going to say cold pipeline stage slash excuse me, campaign not counted as lead. Not for sale. Delete this number. Delete is another one of those numbers or words that I had, I think. Delete. Not for sale. Delete this number. So that's an interesting one where I could add them to the cold campaign and continue following up with them. But the fact that they said delete this number, I want to put somewhere in here that I want to create some templates. Yeah, form templates for quick replies. That's going to be a big one because right here, I'm going to say not for sale, delete this number. Completely understand. Will do. If you happen to know anybody that is interested in selling, we do offer a referral fee up to $1,000. If you happen to know anybody that is interested in selling, we do offer a referral fee up to $1,000. Thanks for your time. Completely understand. We'll do. If you happen to, so like, if you happen to know anybody, that second half is what I want a template, just so that I can go template, boom, on to the next, right? That's what is really going to come down to all. This whole thing is just going to come down to efficiency. How quickly can I get through these people who are replying to me? How can I set up all of these triggers and automation in the back end so that it's handling it by itself? That's going to be step one. How do I filter through and only reply to the people that I really need to reply to? Then after that, how do I respond to the people who I need to reply to as quick as possible so that I can start increasing the number of people that I reach out to per day? But for this guy, not interested. I'm going to say delete this number, DNC, add it to that, add it to the DNC pipeline stage. It's already marked as red. Boom. All right. I'm going to kill it there. Appreciate you. If you tapped in for any of this, tuned into any of it, or if you're still here or you skipped to the end of the video, do me a favor, drop a like. This is a huge step for me. And if you do enjoy it, go ahead and subscribe as well. I'm going live quite frequently here. And please do, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you have any suggestions, recommendations, drop them in the comments as well. Appreciate every one of you guys.